Hi, my name is Ramiro Martinez, and I'm a solution engineer for functional testing here at Parasoft. In this video, we'll walk through how Parasoft captures coverage from manual tests and uses that data to identify which test scenarios are impacted by recent code changes. In my Parasoft CTP solution, I've created an environment configuration that integrates with the Parasoft coverage agent running on my demo application. This setup allows CTP to remotely start and stop data collection from the coverage agent, capturing which parts of the application are being exercised as I perform manual tests. Let's take a look at the experience from the perspective of a manual tester. Here I have a test session that I've been working through. I've already completed 3 of the 4 manual test cases and just have one more left to test to finish my regression testing and gather full coverage. As I execute my test cases, different sections of the demo applications are being interacted with. Behind the scenes, the coverage agent is monitoring this activity, identifying which parts of the code are being touched and reporting that information back to CTP. Once I completed my test, I simply mark it as passed and stop the test session. At this point, we can confidently approve the release of the new build, but the real value of this coverage data comes later. Some time passes and development continues to make changes to the demo application, and there is now a new build of the application, so I will point my environment to the new instance of the demo app. Now we want to understand which parts of the application were affected by those updates, and which test cases we need to rerun to validate them. This is where Parasoft's Test Impact Analysis, or TIA, comes into play. Because we previously gathered coverage from our manual test, Parasoft can now compare the new build against the stored coverage data. CTP and the coverage agents automatically identify which parts of the code had changed and map those changes back to the test cases that originally exercised those areas. Now when I open the CTP manual testing page, I can immediately see which tests have been impacted, marked by the spinning arrow icon. To execute these tests, I simply start a new session. The impacted tests are clearly indicated with arrows, while the tests that remain validated from previous sessions are shown with green check marks. I select the impacted test and begin the manual test. This targeted approach allows me to focus my efforts on areas most likely to be affected by the recent code changes, without rerunning the entire regression suite. It lets me zero in on the modifications that were actually made. With traditional manual testing, it's hard to find that balance. You either spend too much time retesting everything or risk missing defects by testing too little. Parasoft's Test Impact Analysis strikes that perfect middle ground, ensuring the right tests are executed at the right time. Once I've completed the test and ended the session, TTP confirms that the environment is once again fully validated, and I can confidently greenlight the new build. By leveraging Parasoft's Test Impact Analysis, QA teams can perform incremental manual regression testing throughout the sprint, reducing redundant effort, accelerating feedback, and improving overall testing efficiency. And that's how Parasoft's Test Impact Analysis helps teams make smarter decisions about which manual tests to re-execute after a code change, saving valuable time while maintaining confidence in software quality.